Now that we have some posts in our discussion forum, we can look at different ways of navigating and reading the posts and also how to grade it. Several of you also asked about resizing pictures. So let me show you that real quick also. This picture right here, this name tag, if I want to change that, I can go in and edit my forum settings. And here's the image that I want to resize. If I right click on it, I can go to Insert or Edit Image. And then on the Appearance tab, I can change the dimensions of it. So this is 447 pixels by 335, and I can drop that down maybe to 300. And if I change the width, it will automatically change the height as well because this box is checked. And then just update it and it shrinks it. And you can do that at the same time as you're inserting an image. So if I want to insert an image, I have that Appearance tab here as well. So I can choose or upload my image, then switch over to the Appearance tab and change those settings at that time, so you don't have to come back into it later. You can do it at the same time as you upload the image to insert it. So let me save the settings here. Okay, so now that we're inside our forum here, remember that this is a forum we created, and it's the activity named Advanced Forum. Remember, you have that other type of forum just called a forum on your activity list, but the one you always want to use now is the one called Advanced Forum because you have more options for it. So this is the default setting for displaying a forum. So if I want to come in here and read something that someone has posted, I would not click on the person's name. You have to come over here and click on the subject that the person gave it. So I would click on Hi here, and I would be able to see what was posted on that thread in the discussion. And that's something that confuses students a lot when they first start using forums. They seem to want to click on the person's name, and if you do that, that's going to take you to that person's profile page. So you have to remind them to click on the subject for the discussion over here. So this is the default setting. You have a couple of other ways of displaying an advanced forum over here on the right. You can see it's set to default by default, but you can change that to a tree view. And when the page reloads, instead of having to click on those threads in the discussion to open them in a new page, you click the plus sign next to one of them, and it expands out below it there so you can see the replies. Some teachers like this because it's, you can scan through and see all the names of who posted. You could expand all and scan through there and see who's posted what if you want to. The one I like to use though for the advanced discussion forum for displaying it is the nested one. And so it shows up like this, a little bit different than the tree one, so things are a little more spread out. You do get the user's profile picture here, and if you want to view one of these, you click on anywhere in that row and it expands down, and then you see the replies to it there, and you can also click on those and it expands down and you can see those. So I like it because it seems faster than waiting for a whole page to load, whereas before in the default view, if you clicked on the subject line, you would have to wait for another page to load to see what was posted in that thread. This way it just expands right there on your screen and you can read it, click it again to collapse it, and when one of those is open, you have the reply link over here as well. Now as the teacher, you'll always have the ability to delete it or to edit it. And you have those in all of the views, so none of those are specific to this nested view. So those are some different ways that you can view the discussion forum, and these are set on a per user basis. So whenever someone comes to this discussion forum, it's always going to show the default view for students or teachers. So you can't force one of these other views on your students. You'll just need to tell them, if you want to use one of these others, there it is. You also have some menus up here at the top that control how it's sorted. And we're not using groups in this course, but if you were using groups in your own course and set up a discussion forum, if you set it up to use separate groups, or visible groups, you would also see a drop-down menu up here that listed the names of your groups, and you could change from viewing all of your groups at once to seeing them one group at a time. So that can help you too when you're trying to keep things straight if you're using the same discussion questions or the same forum with several classes. Okay, so that's how you view it and reply to discussions and so forth. The other thing you'll probably need to do with your discussion boards is grade them, and this is where the advanced forum is really useful to you. If you come over here to settings, under course administration, you have a link to something called the Joule Grader. And remember, Moodle Rooms is the company that hosts our Moodle for us, and they've added on some features that they call Joule. So this is one of those features that they've added on. It's just called the Joule Grader. So when you click on the Joule Grader, you see the first student in your class. So here we have Bruce Adams, and I'm looking at the Lesson 5 sample forum, but I could go to other forums if there were other forums in the course. But this is going to be a list of all the activities that can be graded through the Joule Grader. And then you have here a list of all the people in your course. So what this lets you do is go through one person at a time, one student at a time, and you don't have to count how many times they've posted. It tells you here at the top that he's made 4 posts, 1 original post, and then 3 replies. And so I could come over here and grade it, since I set this up to use a rubric, give him points for it, and save it. And so you see here it's given him 100 out of 100. I can move on to the next person by using the drop down menu here, or I could just click the little green arrow here and cycle through until we find somebody that has posted something else to me. Right, here we go. So here's another teacher that's posted, or participant in this course that's posted. I see she's made 3 posts, 1 original and 2 replies. I can grade it with the rubric, give her points, and instead of doing save, I could also do save and next, and that will take me to the next student on the list automatically, and I can just cycle through as well. So this Joule Grader really makes it easy for you to grade by being able to collect all of your students' posts on a single page. Whereas in the old version of Moodle, or if you don't use the advanced forum, you would have to go through and count yourself how many times each person had posted, whether they had replied to the original post or just someone else in the course. So this just gives you another way to do that, a little bit easier, I think.